Hello and welcome to Yorkshire Voice. I'm Phoebe Morton. On today's programme...
I'm just waiting for permission from our ministry and going from Lviv to Krakow, Poland. One day waiting there, and from Krakow we have flight to Leeds, and 31 March we will arrive to Leeds.
That's Pavlo Kordiaka, who's making his way from war-torn Ukraine to Leeds to take part in the World's Strongest Man tour. Also on the programme, we hear from the Lord Mayor of Leeds as he tours Leeds Trinity University. Running to Recovery, the Leeds-based group tackling mental health one step at a time. And local creatives perform to raise money for families fleeing from Ukraine. Now, a group of artists and musicians got together for a live performance in Leeds to raise funds in aid of the Ukraine appeal last night. The fundraiser was held at the Left Bank Arts venue and is part of a series of similar events that have been continuing to take place across the city. There was quite the range of entertainment on offer, from cartoonists to poets, as well as music. Amongst the lineup were performances from poet Jack Collins, Anna May and Static Caravan. Georgia Collins reports.
Last night, the event-based Left Bank in Leeds hosted a Ukraine fundraiser to raise money for Ukrainian charities, to support the crisis going on now, but also to support families coming to the UK.
The whole evening is sort of like revolved around a live music night. So we've had I want to say about 12 performers. We've had poets, we've had a dance troupe, we've had like solo artists. Quite a lot of them have been like staff behind the bar because we all kind of wanted to make sure that we were involved in what was going on, which is really nice. And then we've had all of our friends of Left Bank, so people who come to markets, people who have market stalls, have all donated artwork. We've had bags, jewellery, anything sort of creative that they do. They've brought that all in so we can sell. And so basically any of the profit that we've made from the prints, posters, whatever, that's basically being put towards the Ukrainian fundraiser.
It's just a really fun, special, personalised way of showing our support, care, love in a way where when we might feel a bit useless, we can all do a little bit.
100% of the profits from today will go to Ukraine charities. The ticket prices were not fixed and the public were encouraged to pay as they felt.
The First Direct Arena in Leeds will host the World's Strongest Man tour this weekend. The tour showcases competitors for the World's Strongest Man competition. One of those competing is Ukrainian strongman Pavlo Kordiaka. He spoke exclusively to Yorkshire Voice from his war-torn country on the eve of his journey here. Abby Lord reports.
Pavlo Kordiaka's social media feed is full of him demonstrating feat after feat, showing the true extent of his strength that has led to him being given titles such as Ukraine's Strongest Man and World Loglifting Champion. And now he has his sight set on World's Strongest Man. But now Pavlov is in the biggest battle as war has taken over his home in Ukraine, making his journey over to the UK just that much more difficult.
We're just waiting for permission from our ministry and going from Lviv to Krakow, Poland. One day waiting there, and from Krakow we have flight to Leeds, and 31 March we will arrive to Leeds.
The World's Strongest Man tour will start here in Leeds on Saturday and will travel all around the UK's major cities and Europe.
And we will be talking to Pavlov tomorrow on the programme when he arrives in Leeds. Now, a year on from his appointment as Lord Mayor, Asghar Khan has been touring the city. He made a stop in at Leeds Trinity University to hear from lecturers and students. He spoke to Erin Carney about the responsibilities of Lord Mayor and the importance of the role for the Leeds community.
After almost a year as Lord Mayor Asghar Khan of Leeds came to visit Leeds Trinity University today. I sat down with him and spoke a little bit about his journey and the role itself. He also shared the highlights of his term in office and how universities can help the great city of Leeds.
It's been a very, very busy year for me. And as I said, I've been opened the St Patrick's Parade after 2 years, and we had more than 6,000 people come to the city centre. I welcomed those people from different part of the UK that we hosted them in Millennium Square. And then also I've been attending third sector organisations, charities, and welcoming royal families in city. That's the role of the Lord Mayor, and also that's what he's been doing. That's one of the highlights as well. And last Saturday, after 50 years, we've given the freedom of the city to the 4th Battalion, the Parachute Regiment, the Armed Forces. It's a great honour as a Lord Mayor to give somebody the freedom of the city. And as you know, Leeds is the second biggest local authority in the UK, and it was my privilege to give the freedom of the city to the armed forces.
Wow, you must be very busy.
It is very, very busy, and also the Lord Mayor goes out in the communities, opens parades, and recently we did St Patrick's Parade. And as you know, last 2 years have been very, very difficult and challenging for all of us. And you know, for me to become the Lord Mayor at the critical time and to go out into those communities and then to start opening things up and say thank you what you do.
That's brilliant. It's all sort of based around community, isn't it? Which I feel like is the heart of Leeds.
It is, and Leeds is a wonderful place.
Yeah.
And Leeds got lovely people living in, and hopefully by working together, being a role model from professors, lecturers, and then students going out in the community and inspire those young people.
Now, it's been really difficult for the arts sector since the pandemic, and the government have announced cut after cut. But Leeds Central Library is to receive £500,000 in funding from the Arts Council and the City Council. The funding will go towards the Music Centre, where there'll be new instruments and software for musicians. The library room will also be refurbished. Leeds Central Library was built over 130 years ago, and this will be one of the largest ever investments into the building. The redesign is due to be completed early next year. It follows criticism of the council for not providing enough support for libraries in Leeds. Over the last decade, a third of libraries have closed down. The pandemic has led to a rise in mental health issues for people across the world. But in Yorkshire, waiting lists for mental health services keep getting longer. Many people have used regular exercise as a way to improve their well-being during this time. Recovery Runners is a running club in Leeds. For them, exercise has shaped a crucial part of their journey to recovery. Our reporter, Grace McGrory, met up with the group.
Recovery Runners Running Club was founded in January 2021 by recovering alcoholics Jamie Heselden and Dean Smith, who know firsthand the importance that running can have on supporting recovery and improving mental health. The group meet every Sunday at 10 a.m. at the Glass Box at Leeds Dock and offer a variety of routes for their members, with chats and cups of tea also on hand. As the group put it, they aim to heal souls with souls.
In July, Dean said he were doing a virtual half marathon before we got the Glass Box, and he was doing it down at Rodley. I said, come along. I think Martin said, come along. And I said, I can't do half a marathon, I can only do 10k. So I said, I'll do 12k before Sunday, and if I can do 15 on Sunday, I'll be really pleased with myself. So I went down and I ended up carried on. I realised I'd done 10k. So I realised I was halfway there because we had to come back. So I just carried on going. I love it. You just get all those, I call them dolphins in your head, you know, the endorphins, and you just feel a buzz, you know. And it's great going out with these guys because we're all in it together. We're all, you know, I'm a recovering alcoholic. I've been in fellowship for 6 years, and I've been recovering for 6 years, and it just helps you get through difficult times. You know, like I told you, my partner passed away 2 years ago. In a really tragic accident, and it's helped me get through it as running.
It's just got bigger and bigger. We've been new people coming from drugs, alcohol, mental health, eating disorders, gambling disorders, all what's under the same umbrella, really, with the mental health situation, and it's just got bigger, and we've loved it, but people come and you think, oh, you just got to run. You don't. You can come down, just have a chat and a brew with us. Sounds so fun. We aren't doctors or counsellors, but we're just good listeners. And when you're with same-minded people, it's, it all goes down well.
With a love for running uniting the members of Recovery Runners, they always manage to keep a smile on their faces.
That was Grace McGrory with that report, and Grace, being the dedicated reporter that she is, actually dragged me along to a Recovery Runners meeting the other day, and after a stressful couple of weeks, a run down by Leeds Docks in the sunshine on a Sunday morning was absolutely brilliant, and we did manage to do couch to 5k in one day, so that was fantastic. And from that form of exercise, over to the sport. Will, can you offer us a sports roundup today?
I can, Phoebe, thank you. Now, we may not have had much Football League action over the last week, but the international break has still provided us with plenty of Yorkshire interest. Hull-born Keane Lewis Potter made his debut for the under-21 side last night. The Hull City forward came off the bench during the under-21's 3-0 victory over Albania, which takes the side closer to qualifying for next year's European Championships. Boss Lee Carsley has now challenged Lewis Potter to retain his place in the side. For England's under-20 team, Leeds United's young striker Sam Greenwood was on the score sheet as they earned a 3-1 victory against Germany last night. Over 8,000 fans turned out to watch the match played at Colchester's JobServe Community Stadium. Staying on the theme of Leeds United, and today marks 24 years since the plane carrying the Leeds team was forced to make an emergency landing after the engine exploded. The team were travelling back from London on the 30th of March 1998 when the explosion happened. The pilot, John Hackett, avoided disaster, making an emergency landing at Stansted Airport. And it's said the plane came to a stop only feet away from the M11 motorway. Miraculously, everyone successfully evacuated the plane and only 2 people sustained minor injuries. And we've got something a little bit different finally. We have some ice hockey. And Yorkshire ice hockey team Sheffield Steel Dogs play in the final of the National Ice Hockey League's National Cup this evening against Shropshire side Telford Tigers. The final is played over 2 legs, and the Steel Dogs have a 3-goal advantage going into tonight's second leg. They won the first match 6-3 at Ice Sheffield 10 days ago. Their head coach, Greg Wood, says the team will not be sitting back to protect their lead, but want to apply pressure to extend it. That's all the sport we've got for now. Back to you, Phoebe.
Well, thanks, Will. It sounds like it's been a great week for English football.
It really was a great week for English football. We had obviously the success for the under-20s and the under-21s, but the senior side did really well as well. We had a match against Switzerland at the weekend, which they won 2-1, and then a fantastic win yesterday, 3-0 against the Ivory Coast too.
That sounds brilliant. Now, finally, for the weather. And just as we thought that spring had sprung, we've returned to some distinctly wintry conditions. Erin, what's going on?
Well, Phoebe, I'm sure you're lovely and warm back there in the studio, and I wish I could say the same for us. The weather today certainly has been keeping us on our toes. It had just started to snow here, but it appears to have stopped. And all throughout today, we've been experiencing a mixture of showers, snow and sleet. The weather right now is around 3 degrees. Cold temperatures are going to continue overnight and with strong winds. Tomorrow we'll bring back that lovely weather we'll have. And that's all from me.
Thanks, Erin. Let's hope we get back to that warmer weather soon. And that's all we have time for. If you have any stories you think we should be covering, please get in touch with us here at Yorkshire Voice on all forms of social media. Join us tomorrow for our lunchtime update at 1 o'clock. Thanks for joining us.